Hola, amigos! Brad the Big Noise Evans here. It's time once again to bring the noise on this AMA NFL Week 10 edition. If you have any questions for me, lock and load those now. I'm going to be here for the next 30, 40 minutes or so, breaking everything down fantasy football wise, sports betting wise as well on this broadcast. But it's all about you. I love the interaction, and I will be taking your comments and questions. And there are three different ways you can get a hold of me on this broadcast. If you're watching me on the X, where I'm always trying to give it to you there at Noisy Huevos, you can drop comments, but I can't see them with the StreamYard app. So by all means, please drop those in there below. Submit your questions via Facebook, Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on the YouTube channel there at Big Noise 78. Not only that, but I'm going to be, rocking and rolling here for the next several minutes, trying to attack all of those pressing various needs that you may have. And I'm going to toss out some player prop options here in a minute. But wait, there's more of this hideous, ugly, and disgusting face, much like the football being played overseas there in Frankfurt, Germany. I'll have an update on that here momentarily. I'm sure you're glued to the television there in the NFL Network, watching that thriller of a Colts Patriots matchup. But I'm going to have another broadcast coming up at the top of next hour. So 11 o'clock Central Time, noon Eastern Time, with former hard-hitting safety Tank Williams of the NFL, a guy who was a brother from another mother. We look very similar from about neck up, with the exception of he's got abs still. He's still got an athletic bod, and I have a dad bod extraordinaire, to say the least. We can watch Tank and I and all of our idiocy on the Bleacher Report app, our Sunday stream spectacular starting at noon Eastern. Going to be taking all of your questions and comments there and dropping our booms, bus, and bank selections for every remaining Sunday matchup in the National Football League. And once again, here's a reminder, if you're just out joining the broadcast, those are the three different ways you can get a hold of me right now. The questions and comments are already coming in fast and furious. But before we get to those, let me hook you up with my player props today that I am digging on. A numero trace here on the countdown today. Let's go to a matchup going on this afternoon. For probably a very partisan Detroit Lions back crowd there in the City of Angels, taking on the LA Chargers. And on this SGP, and come with me. If you are buying what I'm selling on the three-legger here, Amon Ra. Amon Ra St. Brown, the Sun God's got to torch the competition. I say he goes for at least 6+ receptions, 80+ yards as well. And the Lions, let's correlate, synergize, bring it all together. If Amon Ra is expected to have a big game, I also believe Detroit's going to pile up points in the box score. I'll have them score at least 20. You put all of those three together. Uno, dos, tres, mi amigos, at BetMGM on an SGP. The standard juice is plus 138. And right now, they've got I think it's like a 50% boost. Three of them on the entire Week 10 slate. If you apply that, it gets even juicier. So get seduced by that juice on this three-legger. Just give it a little bit of background here. Amon Ra has actually done this 5 times this season in a single game. You know that he is the apple of Jared Goff's eye. A guy is getting 11 targets per game. He's number 9 in total yak, and he is numero dos in route win percentage as tracked by my friends there at playerprofiler.com. Jasir Taylor is going to be his primary assignment out of the slot. He's given up a 60% catch rate this season, and in total, 5 guys have achieved both these thresholds at wide receiver against LAC this season. And look at Detroit. They have scored 20 or more points in 7 of 8 contests. I expect this to be a pew shootout affair there in LA. So again, on this SGP, Amon Ra St. Brown, 6+ catches. Amon Ra St. Brown, 80+ yards, and 20+ points scored by Detroit, plus 138 without the boost at BetMGM. Hey, it's me. It's Tommy DeVito. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. University of Illinois' own, Syracuse as well. Tommy DeVito, the local Jersey kid, grew up a New York Giants fan, and unbelievably, improbably, almost inexplicably, They undrafted quarterback out of the University of Illinois, fine Harvard-like institution in the Midwest. Come to Champaign, hang out with me. He is starting, and I can't believe it. I think I signed like a $50,000 deal in the unrestricted rookie free agent market after the draft, and he is being thrust in action. Why? Because Daniel Jones is out. Because Tyrod Taylor's out. So third man down, it's Tommy DeVito, the rookie. And I'm going to take the over, not on pass yards, not on passing touchdowns. I'm not that drunk this morning, but I do like the over on rush yards. And we've seen some fluctuation in this total. Open 11.5, jumped up to 13.5, has fallen back down to the middle there at 12.5. I would still play the over at 13.5, to be honest with you. I grab it at 11.5. If you follow my spreadsheet, all my free picks, always free, always transparent, always accessible. I have the link posted right now at Noisy Huevos on the X and my college basketball picks on this Sunday as well. And I'm going to have those every day all the way to the end of the NCAA tournament. But I digress on DeVito, a guy who's been over the summer, not once but twice already, when he was been pressed into limited action, 12 rushing yards, 17 rushing yards in back-to-back weeks. He is what I would describe as an opportunistic runner. Not a lot of design runs for him, but he reads, reacts, and he is very comfortable tailing, and running, and I think that's going to be the case in this game against a fairly aggressive Dallas defense. 19.0 pressure percentage they have posted this season, and they're giving up 29.3 rush yards per game to the quarterback position. So, hey, it's me. Make some money on Tommy DeVito over 12.5 rush yards. A little juicy there, minus 125 at BetMGM. And my numero player prop, are you surprised? It's mandatory that I lay a little cash on it with Montgomery on an anytime touchdown. Best odds of business yesterday were Caesars. I woke up this morning, I checked FanDuel. Oh my God, plus 110 right now on that juice. So they're only plus odds market in the entire sportsbook industry right now. Caesars now minus 105, much higher odds available right now at BetMGM and DraftKings, but take advantage of FanDuel. I mean, they're giving this away. You know that Montgomery has been a money man inside the red zone this season. The 5 games he's seen action in, 26 red zone touches. 5 have come at the goal line specifically. That's, at the 1 yard line or in inside the 1 yard line. I think he's got to punch one in for 6 and what I feel is going to be a high scoring affair. Now, I got to give credit is due. Now, relatively speaking, the Chargers are a sieve defensively, but most of the production they have allowed has come through the air. On the ground, they're actually better than advertised and well above average. They are top 10 EPA rush defense. They've only allowed 6 total touchdowns to the running back position and right around 3.60 yards per carry to RBs as well. But here is the deal. Look, Jared Goff, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to be able to stretch the field. It could be with a number of targets in this game because of the shortcomings of the secondary of LAC. So as a result, if they are knocking at the door, a splash and 6, who's going to get the ball? It's very predictable where it's going to go. It's probably going to go to David Montgomery, ball to the belly, and I think he's going to punch one in for a touchdown and a cold hard cash, a plus 110 there at FanDuel. Lock and loaded easily as a top 10. I would argue is a top 5 running back this week in fantasy football leagues. A reminder, this show is all about you. I just am offering my picks so you can load up your questions, which you can submit 3 different ways. That's the name on the bottom of your screen. Right now, you can do it at Facebook at Yahoo Noise. You can do it on Twitch at Big Noise 78 or on the YouTube at the Fade the Noise channel. Hopefully, you're listening to the Fade 5 podcast that I do every Monday, Thursday, and Friday with Nathaniel Lundy all the way through the rest of the NFL regular season. We'll probably alter the schedule, may do more of these during the college basketball slates because there's hoops action every single day. And I am a hardcore junkie. Inject it into my veins right now. Yeah, I've already fired off, I think, 34 tickets in college basketball so far this season, and I'm already up. I say that, and yet there's action today, and I'll probably squander it all. But, yeah, check out all my picks at Noisy Huevos, and we'll have more of the Fade 5 shows as well. So wherever you subscribe, wherever you download your podcast, it is available there, or subscribe to our YouTube channel where you're probably consuming this right now at Fade the Noise. All right, let's get after it. Oh, and one other reminder. Bleacher Report app stream spectacular show with myself and Tank Williams coming up at noon Eastern time. The only way you can watch it, you got to download the BR app, put it on your device, and you can see our not so beautiful faces in live animated picture and sound. Again, starting at noon Eastern, we'll have booms, busts, and bank selections of every remaining game on the docket today. And we're, of course, going to be answering your questions because we're men of the people. All right, let's go and get after it here. On this AMA, and batting leadoff is Steve Lindor. And Steve says, hola, amigo. Hola, Steve. PBR, Goddard injury was a crusher. Hey, man, I could sympathize. I had Dallas Goddard in multiple leagues, and I am just flying around in fury right now, trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do at tight end. Anyway, Cade Otton, he's got against the Titans, Irv Smith against the Texans, Musgrave against the Steelers, or Juwan Johnson against Minnesota. For me, it's Cade Otton. I think that Tampa and Tennessee game is going to have some sneaky shootout appeal. Will Levis, man, looking great. He's tall, he's strapping, he's got biceps. He's going to be flexing in this game, which means if I believe it's going to be high scoring, I think there's going to be a rhythm and flow with Baker Mayfield with myriad options, probably Mike Evans and Chris Godwin as usual. But I think Cade Otton could make some noise. An area where we could take advantage of the Tennessee Titans in the secondary. Now, they've shown some improvement there here the last about handful of weeks, but still, I believe Tampa will put some points on the board, and Cade Otton will potentially do some damage through the air. Next up is Sean. Hey, Brad, need some help with my guillotine league. Need two. George Kittle, Taysom Hill, Drake London. Well, Drake London probably going to be out of that. Or George Pickens at quarterback. He's got Lawrence or Mayfield. I'm actually going to go Baker, money maker. Keep you alive, Baker Mayfield. Slight advantage over Trevor Lawrence. I really don't know what we're going to get defensively from the San Francisco 49ers. Probably some recalibration during the bye week, but did it sink in? Is it going to take hold? Anyone's best guess there. Not bad option there is Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a borderline back in QB1. I think Baker, they'll be a little bit better. And then the two that you need, I will actually go with Drake London for one. He's healthy. It's a great matchup. And he's got the mother of all matchups on paper with Marco Wilson in coverage, who's allowed the second most yards of any DB in the league. He's got a lot of those mano-a-mano situations, and he will win those routes and win those battles as well, as long as Taylor Heinicke throws him the pill. And then I'm going to go with Taysom Hill as kind of the wild card here. Minnesota, New Orleans, another game that I think has got some sneaky shootout appeal, and he is just kind of a jack of all trades inside the red zone. Whether he's, the featured runner in a Wildcat, whether he's catching passes, hell, he may kick a field goal today. Who knows with Taysom Hill? But I'm going to go with Taysom because of the multidimensionality and the upside there. So Kittle sits, Pickens sits for me. Good luck, my man. Jimmy says Dak or golf. It is golf for me. I think at a minimum, you're looking at 250 yards and 2 to 3 touchdowns. It could be much higher than that. Coda says, hola, amigo, and a half-point PPR. Should I play Boyd or JSN? It's Tyler Boyd for me. Again, Jamar Chase is going to play. Is he going to be limited, though? Is he going to be more of a decoy with that back ailment? Who the hell knows? We know that T. Higgins is out. I think the tight ends and Tanner Hudson in particular is going to be very busy. If you're desperate for a plus-size target play, and he is sipping Mai Tais there in the free agent pool, cast a line, pick him up, plug him in. I did so in both of my Kings Classic leagues, which has got like 3 flex positions and a 14-teamer. Desperate times call for desperate measures, especially with so many big names on bye and given the rash of injuries. But I go Tyler Boyd there. Could see around 22 to 25% of the target share today. Hey, Scoop! What's going on, my man? Scoop Robinson, my former colleague at Bally Sports, killing it, as he always is. Please follow him on all his various social media apparatuses. Covers the NBA tremendously. And really must see and follow material. The only sudden any weather concerns this week with Seattle, Cincinnati, or Buffalo, they look to be the worst. No, I'm not overly concerned. Look, folks, if you're worried about the weather, the biggest thing that you have to consider, if it's a massive blizzard, maybe, but that usually puts defenses behind the 8 ball. So you have sometimes some explosive offensive performances in those circumstances. Maybe a torrential rain during the entire duration of the game, but that's highly unlikely in any of those locales. And wind. Wind is the biggest influencer when it comes to meteorological effects in the world of football. And when I'm talking about wind, it's got to be sustained. What does sustained mean? Consistent winds of 30 miles an hour or greater to really have a major impact on, the production of a running back, wide receiver, or a quarterback, whatever it is. Kickers, if you want to throw them into the equation. So, no, I'm not overly concerned. Seattle, Cincinnati, or Buffalo, nor should you be, Olin Sutton. Good luck. Ro Scotty says Dotson or Wilson. I'm going to go Dotson. Aubrey says, Hola to you. Half point PPR need to sit one. Aaron Jones, James Cook, Tony Pollard. I have no way in hell I'm going to sit Tony Pollard. He had a pair of touchdowns first matchup against the G-Men. I think he's going to splash 6 again today. Yes, I wagered on it. I put my money where my mouth is many a times. That's why every bet that you see on the spreadsheet, you can get it right now at Noisy Huevos. I have real money behind it. You might say, oh, Evans, you got problems, man. You need to see somebody. I do this for a living. All right. But Pollard is on that spreadsheet and in your lineup today. And I go Aaron Jones over James Cook. Steve says, PPR, pick one of these at wide receiver, Rashid Shaheed or Courtland Sutton. Give me Courtland Sutton, please. A guy that sees a lot of red zone work with the arm of Russell Wilson really spinning things in his general direction. Grant Sambo says, Hola, amigo, need 2 and a flex at a PPR. Najee, Sutton, Brian Robinson. I'm going to go with both running backs there in the guaranteed volume. I think Najee Harris got himself a day. I think 75 yards and a touchdown. Very achievable for him in his matchup. A Hockey Knot 41, need 3 to full point PPR. Alvin Kamara in my lineup. Travis Etienne, you're not benching him, in my lineup. Comes down to Mixon or Bijan. Who has got the most touchdown appeal? It might be Bijan against a Arizona team that's pretty much checked out, very much a contention for the number 1 overall pick. I'm going to give the slight advantage of Bijan Robinson. Arthur Smith shaved the stash, and maybe he got rid of his numbskullness as well. Feed Bijan. He's a beast. Please give the damn ball. You're a run-oriented team. Act like it. He could still give Tyler Algier like 11 to 12 touches. But I'm going to go Bijan, Etienne, Kamara. And congratulations on a killer use of running backs in your 6-team league. That's incredible that you got those guys. Brian says, aloha, Brad. Aloha. Drink all the Mai Tai somewhere there, Brian. Najee Harris or Connor Mercy. I'm going to go with Najee Harris. James Conner first game back, maybe a little bit rusty. I know he's got some fresh legs, but I think Najee Harris, again, going to have a great game. The reason why, Green Bay number 19 EPA Rushdie, they're giving him 96.3 rush yards per game of the running back position. Najee, look at the advanced numbers, not too shabby. Number 25 in yards after contact per attempt. He's forcing to miss tackle 20% of the time, which is terrific. So all the reasons there for Mr. Harris. Jake says, hola, amigo. I have 2 for you today. Stroud or Golf? I'm going to go Golf over Stroud. Yeah. CJ Stroud, I'm a loud, proud member of Team Stroud, but I'm feeling he's going to take a step back coming off that historic effort that we saw a week ago. And then Connor or Njigba in the flex. I will go Connor here. Again, guaranteed volume over the wide receiver. Jimmy says, need 1 wide receiver, a flex, and a tight end out of these 4. Taysom Hill is in a tight end. Godwin, Cooper, or Ferguson. I go Godwin at wide receiver, and I will go Amari Cooper still over Jake Ferguson. Steve again. I need to sit 1 running back out of these 4. Monty, you're not sitting him. Brian Robinson, maybe. James Conner, possibly. Rachaad White, you're not sitting. I'd probably sit Brian Robinson. Seattle has been stiff in the trenches, according to the surface data, the EPA data as well, all supportive of that maneuver. Kanan Cash says, hey, Brad, need a running back and a flex. Najee, Warren, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. I'm going to go with the 2-back formation there, and both play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Take advantage and maximize the matchup against Green Bay, who I don't hate seeing being the dregs of the cake in their division. James says, hola, amigo, hola. PPR for mine, tight end, Taysom Hill or Logan Thomas. It is Taysom Hill for me. Kanan says, Evan Ingram or McBride, Evan Ingram all day. Peter says, what's up, Brad? Star Connor or Javonte? Ooh, very close. I think Javonte Williams has a decent shot of splashing 6. I'm going to my head. Javonte. Juggernaut Javonte. Crank the RAO in the background. Steve says, hola, Mr. Huevos. Who do I sit, please? Out of Laporta? No. Javonte, maybe. Kincaid? No. I'm going to go with the two-time information there. Both inside my top 3 this week at the tight end position. Kanan says, Romeo Doubs or Watson? Well, Dobbs just gets so much appeal inside the red zone. And if Green Bay just, by accident somehow gets there, that's the direction I would go. Go Dobbs. Sean says, hola, amigo, need 2. Full point PPR, Tank Dell. Michael Pittman. Hopefully you play Pittman. And he's playing right now in Germany. Maybe he didn't set the alarm and get up early enough. It would have been Pittman and Harris. If you couldn't get Pittman in your lineup, well, you got a couple of fallbacks that are pretty damn decent. Also to flex at PPR, Boyd, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed. I'm going to go Tyler Boyd there. Noon. Hey, it's noon somewhere. Hola, mi compa. Hola to you, mi amigo. Nicholas says, Albertsons, Vons, Kroger's best option for game time snacks. I used to live out in Arizona, and I lived for a long time in the Denver metro area before I relocated back to the land of corn, soybeans, and swine of Central Illinois, where I grew up. But Kroger for me, they got a lot of fantastic options. There was Fry's in the Phoenix area, surprisingly good chicken wings. Little inside note, just my opinion, but I loved them at my local Fry's. There in Anthem, Arizona, just north of Phoenix. Steve says, with Connor back, save it or drop Singletary, Jameson Williams, or Romeo Doubs. Oh, man. I think Jameson Williams really do. It could be a kind of a breakout game for him this week. You can't drop Singletary. I can't really drop Doubs either. I guess low man on the totem pole there is probably Jameson, in my opinion. Elsewhere, I hit the send so fast. How about quarterback? Lamar Jackson versus the Browns or Gino versus the Commanders? I still have Lamar slightly higher because of that duality. And I would lean that direction, though I did bet the under on 212.5 pass yards. And that number, I think, last I checked, was like 210.5 this morning on Lamar Jackson. But it could get like 40 to 50 rushing yards, a possible rushing touchdown. Matt says, need 1 in 2 different leagues, Lawrence or Howell. I'm going to go Sam Howell barely over Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence or Stroud. Now I go Trevor Lawrence over C.J. Stroud. College picks are fire. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I did some college football yesterday. I've been doing that all season, scaling back slightly. Way to go, Penn State, with a garbage time touchdown to cover on my SGP, which is my top play of the day yesterday. And the Michigan assistant coach crying and dropping F-bombs on live television, singing the praises of Harbaugh, and all the scandal was, high hilarity. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. It's like WWE meets college football. It really was kind of silly. Thanks, soon. And get all my college basketball picks. I do have a couple of plays today, as a matter of fact, on the spreadsheet at Noisy Huevos on the X. Addison says, hola, amigo, El Rapido. Stars Wild Gift, minus 150. I don't know shit about hockey. I'll keep it real. I deliver all that to Nathaniel Lundy. I can hear Lundy right now. Yes, it's a gift. I don't care who. Just bet on it. So there you go. I have no opinion at all on anything hockey. Kirk says, half point PBR need 2. London, Metcalf, Boyd, Godwin. I think Metcalf is a no-brainer, but I value your opinion. I agree. DK Metcalf is a no-brainer today. And I go Drake London for number 2. I think Drake London, who I got a little bit of action on the over 47.5 receiving yards, I think it's going to be 50+ and a possible touchdown for him. Travis's half point PPR need 2. Montgomery in. Gibbs or Barkley. Oh, very close. I still go Saquon. And I know the Giants, what are they, like 17.5 point underdogs? It's just insane. You never see a line like that. It's one of the highest, I think, really of all time. I still go Saquon, though, because he can play a 3-down role, but how many quarters are you going to see him out there? Is it going to be 3? Maybe he's got some contract incentive that he's trying to get to and like some sort of threshold. I don't know. Kirk says, Will Levis or Kyler Murray. Give me Will Levis over Kyler. I gotta see it from the docks into the desert. Justin says, super flex with Mahomes on bye, start 2. Levis in my lineup. Dobbs or Watson. Watson sits. Get his ass on the bench. Dobbs is in. And I do love the over on Josh Dobbs rush yards 26.5. It opened at 28.5, and I still played it there. I played again at 26.5. I played if it got to like 31.5. I think Dobbs could have himself a nice game today. I look at the Saints are going to a 27 rush yards per game to the quarterback position. 5 quarterbacks to run for at least 31 against them. And Dobbs can also get maybe $180, $190 through the air, possible passing touchdown. Knows the offense now a little bit more. Hola, Brad from Todd. Who would you start at a tight end? Do you go with Evan Ingram or Ferguson? It's Evan Ingram for me. Don't be intimidated by the paper matchup against San Francisco. That defense has got issues. We'll see if they were rectified after the bye. I'm not believing it. Malcolm says, flex question, Taysom Hill, James Cook, or Jerome Ford. I can't believe I'm saying this, Taysom Hill. Johnny says, Addison over Garrett Wilson, Hawk over Schultz. I go Garrett Wilson over Addison, and I go Hawk over Schultz. So a little bit of diversification of the portfolio with the Vikings options. Willie says, which one sits, Kincaid, McBride, or Everett? Everett, easily. Johnny says, Ola, Connor, or Javonte. Man, that's so close. That's Javonte for me. Roger says, James Conner and a PPR. Godwin, Madison, or Jacoby Myers. Myers is in. Oh, you only need one. It's Jacoby Myers. Period. End of story. Hit those likes, people. Yeah, please. Give me some thumbs up. If you're watching this on the YouTube in particular, it helps out these broadcasts immensely. Give me whatever emoji you got. I don't care what it is. If you hate this broadcast, middle finger emoji. Totally fine. Water off my back. It's free. You're not paying for any of this. And it's just my thoughts and my opinions. I'm trying to be a man of the people, which I normally am. Hola, amigo, from Josh. Start Kyler or Gino. Give me Kyler. Yeah, it hurts so bad. Yeah, the bye week does. Boyd or Gabe Davis at a half point PPR from George. Oh, man. I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd by the slimmest of margins. Ryan says, how do you feel about starting Kyler Murray today? I'm starting him at a 14-teamer. I don't have any other great options. I have Patrick Mahomes on a bye, so I'm rocking and rolling and hoping the Dachshund of the Desert. It's my nickname for him. If anybody throws that out there and says, oh, I made up something funny, they probably stole it from me. And they're not going to remotely give me credit. That happens all the time with me in this industry. But Kyler Murray, I'm just going to, shoot for the hip. I'm going to say 220 passing yards, about 26 rushing yards, 1 touchdown at least, and probably a pick. Yeah, middling. I am tempering my expectations. The Lions actually been pretty good against the pass this year. George there is back with another question. Drake London or Tank Dell? It is Drake London for me. George again, Carr or Kyler in a 4-point per passing touchdown. I go with Carr by the slimmest of margins over Kyler Murray. One more, please, from Steve. Who am I sitting between? Devontae Adams. I can't believe it. We're actually talking about sitting him. Debo and Dell. I'm going to say Dell. I'm going to sit. I'm still going to roll with Devontae Adams. The volume is going to most certainly be there. My God. New England, run. That's all they're doing in this stupid game. Patrick, hola, Brad. Stick with Pickens, the flex, or go with Kyle Pitts or Tyler Algier. I still go with Pickens. Can't trust the Falcons, guys. Will Levis, Eric Carr, or Josh Dobbs? It's Will Levis for me, Roger. Danny says, sledgehammer, please. Daddy what? Daddy need. Daddy gotta have it. Am sledgehammer again. Mandatory Montgomery. That's my play today. Plus 110 at FanDuel for anytime touchdown. There you go, Danny. Card Z need 2 for half point PPR. Sutton, Adams, or Ford. Cheers. God. I'll go with Ford for 1, and I will go Adams reluctantly for the other. Hazael Martinez Castillo. Hola, amigo. Hola to you. Sam Howell or Lawrence. I have Howell 1 spot higher in my rankings. CC. Hola, senor huevos or eggs. Same thing. Noah Brown or Rashid Shaheed. Give me Noah Brown. MKB Fantasy. Dak versus Giants or golf. Give me golf. Hawkinson, potentially limited snaps. Yeah, potentially, but I would still consider him a TE1, even in like 8-team leagues. So I take him over McBride. And then Kirk or Godwin. Give me Christian Kirk. The area you can really take advantage of San Francisco was out of the slot. That's where Kirk typically operates. Oliver, the starting slot cornerback for San Francisco, is allowed well north of 100 passer rating to his assignments this year. Anthony says, hola, amigo. Fantasy Costanza. I was in the pool. Can we get a flash? Flash for fantasy. Flash for fantasy. It's not flash. It's flesh for fantasy. Billy Idol classic. way back in the day. Come on now, Flash! Yeah, there you go. Dave Montgomery. That was his theme song of the old Sirius XM show. Maybe I'll be back someday. Brad, your sledgehammers have been great. Keep them coming. I did. I posted one yesterday. I reposted this morning on Dave Montgomery. The honorable mention, sledgehammer, Tommy DeVito. Hey, it's me. It's Tommy DeVito. You're not so better on me, baby. But I did. Why? Because ILL. I at least owe him that for last year. Dub season, Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, or Tyler Boyd. Come on, man. You're getting too cute here. It's Brandon Ayuk. Matt says 12 team PPR and a flex. Deontay Johnson, Devontae Adams all day. It is Deontay Johnson for me. Lap J says Amari, Sutton, or Taysom. Taysom, believe it or not. This week 10, craziness ensues. This is why we overrate the draft every single year in fantasy. CC says, future crystal ball, bench, stash, drop question. Who do you drop out of Spears? Chandler before kickoff. It's Chandler. Also, drop Purdy or Levis for Dobbs. I drop Purdy for Dobbs, honestly. I think Will Levis is really a Holyfield, really do. And, yeah, Purdy's showing some cracks in the dam here. Kirk Bauer, whole bunch of emojis. Fire, thumbs up, great. Lab says Olamega, Kyler, Levis, or Carr. It's Levis for me. Brian says, yo, Brad, a quarterback, I need one more. Purdy, Levis, Lawrence, or Stroud. Oh, man. God bless it. I think I have Lawrence the highest out of this group, but Levis is really close. Purdy's even close. And Stroud is, it's like back, bang, 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 bang in my rankings. But it's Trevor Lawrence. Thank you, brother. Hey, you're welcome, Danny. Malcolm says Kincaid or Taysom at tight end. I have Kincaid a spot higher, but they're both top 5 options. Stack or Goff from Michael. It's Goff for me. Hawk or McBride. It is Hawk again. A lot of Hawk versus McBride questions. And Matt says Taysom Hill or Jacob Ferguson. It is Taysom Hill. I think he finds the end zone again. He gets you some production on the ground. Get you maybe a catch or two through the air. Maybe he throws a couple of balls. It's finally the Saints are really starting to utilize him in his fullest capacity, especially inside the red zone. And he's really almost impossible to defend because of all that multidimensionality to his name. Jimmy says Steelers or Raiders D. Really? Raiders? No, bro. Never the Raiders. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers for me. Hey, guess what? I have answered all of your questions, but wait, there's more additional opportunities to check me out with Tank Williams, former NFL safety with Tennessee Titans, Minnesota Vikings, New England Patriots. We're going to be on the Bleacher Report app at the top of the hour. The only way you can watch us, you got to download the app and stream. If you want to be part of the conversation, join the party. Booms, busts, and bank picks for every single remaining Sunday matchup. My opinion, Tank will have his. Maybe he's got to double down. Tune in. It's a lot of fun. It's highly informative, and it moves. It's me. There's a ton of energy, a lot of pizzazz, and tankisms, which are must-see TV. All right, I'm out of time. I'm going to catch my breath. Enjoy the craptastic end of the third quarter, 7-3 god-awful matchup. Just bet unders in these European games, folks, and you'll probably be up like a gazillion units, evidenced by, yet again today. Until next time, as always, you can fade or follow. That is up to you. And adios, amigo.